Well, I'm here today at a featured vacant lot up here in North Florida in the town of Melrose. That's right. And I'm telling you, North Florida vacant land is the best. Here, check this out. First of all, you've got plenty of trees and natural growth. And what's so nice about a lot like this, a vacant lot, like when you're going to build your house, and speaking of house, you can put a mobile home or, a site-built house. You get to pick and choose where you're going to put it and the trees that you're going to keep up so that you can make for a nice country lot. Now, and something else that makes this real country is the fact that you're on a dirt road. Here, check out the road here. I'll show you from both directions that you can see. And the address is 326 Country Living Circle. And in this case, the address does live up to its name. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the property here. As you can see, you've got a lot of native Florida plants, and I'm going to walk through it with you and show you, but it's 1.67 acres, so think about it. You're over 1.5 acres, all right? Everyone always asks me when they're looking at vacant land, they've got this 1 acre minimum they want in mind. Well, now you've got it, so that gives you a little room between your neighbors, which everyone likes. All right, now let's take a little bit of tour of this property. Now, this property does have some nice tall pines, but it has a lot of other, native trees also. And right now I'm filming this in the springtime, so you got a lot of that new spring growth, which is that nice bright green. Also, it has just a variety of native plants. Things I love these palmettos. These palmettos are so nice. Now, they do take a long time to grow. A lot of people just clean them out when they clear the lot, but man, they're beautiful palms once they get growing. And if you've got them scattered on your property, it's really great to have, especially since it's all natural. You'll also find natural cactus growing out on this, and plus also you'll see a lot of young pines just sprouting up too. Now, something that's a benefit when you've got a lot of trees on your property like we have here, you've got a lot of natural shade. And while, in the spring or the winter it may not mean a lot to you, during that summer you're going to be glad you have that shade tree canopy. Hey, and you know what? This area, like I says, look at all this open space that you've got, that you can actually walk this lot to kind of get an idea. Some lots are so heavily wooded and so thick, you don't even know what's on the other side of the lot or what's through the lot. On this lot, you can walk through it, as you can see, and get an idea of where you would put that house or where you'd put that swimming pool or whatever it is that you want to put down, okay? Hey, I'm going to show you a little bit more of this lot. We're going to walk through some more, but first of all, let me kind of show you where it's at, because as soon as I say rural lots and vacant land, people think they're out in the middle of nowhere and think that they could be hours away from something. But let me show you some maps and show you where we're located compared to some of the other cities and of course the beach. Well, the first map I'm going to show you here is what is called a GIS map. Now, it isn't an actual survey, but it gives you an idea of the outline of this property. As you can look here, you can see here's that dirt road where I was standing out front, and this is how far back the property goes, and then over onto the side. So you see, it's not a perfect rectangle. It kind of opens up, so in the back you have more frontage, or I guess you'd call it frontage in the back, than you do in the front off of the road. All right, like I did mention the beach. So let's just say a lot of people, are interested in the beach when they take it. So as you look on this map here, you see that you're just about an hour to the beach, okay? And that's Crescent Beach, which is a really nice beach to go to. Now, with being an hour away, that leaves you plenty of time in the morning to take off, go out there, enjoy a day out on the beach or all the areas up around that area of Crescent Beach, over to St. Augustine even. You can drive up a little bit and still have plenty of time to come back during the day. So what if you didn't really want to go to the Atlantic beach this day, but wanted to try something different and go to the Gulf of Mexico into this great little town called Cedar Key? Well, as you can see on this map here, you're about an hour and a half to Cedar Key. Now, I mean, it is a little bit of a longer trip. It takes you through Gainesville, but still, an hour and a half out, you could still spend the whole day and still get back in time to enjoy your evening here. And speaking of Gainesville, you need to get to Gainesville. You see, you're only about, 20 minutes to Gainesville. And a lot of people have business in Jacksonville, and so if you have to go to Jacksonville, the drive to Jacksonville is just over an hour. So you can see from this path here. Now, there are other roads that you can take with different times. This one was just showing the most efficient. And something I like to show and I like to talk about is, because it's important to me when I'm going somewhere or living somewhere, is where's the fire station, okay, for fire rescue. If you have an emergency or a fire or anything like that, or may need medical care, well, check out this map. This shows you right here how close the fire station is to this property. So as you can see, even though you're in the woods, you're still just a little over 2 miles from the fire station, and based on this driving, that's 4 minutes time. But we all know that they would drive faster than you would to get here in an emergency. All right, I'm standing next to one of these nice tall pines that are here. Now you're going to get a lot of people that are going to tell you, a lot of local people say, get rid of all the pines. You don't want the pines, they're lightning rods. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got pines and oaks on my property, and I've never had a lightning strike on a pine tree, but I have had them on the oak trees, okay? That doesn't mean it doesn't happen, I'm just saying. But what I love about the pine trees, after it rains, man, the smell you got. Plus also advantage, what do you get with pine trees? You get pine cones. So if you ever wanted to do anything around the holidays, some crafts or anything to do with pine cones or anything, you don't have to go shopping on eBay, you got them in your own yard. You know, with a lot like this, I mean, you've got enough room that you can carve out some of your own trails, almost make it like a park, your own very own park. Hey, something else I want to mention too, when I talked about a lot of new growth coming in on these trees at spring, something you don't really want to do unless you know the trees is to just cut everything down, okay, even the smaller ones, because some of the trees do will either change colors with the leaves, you know, when we go into, you know, in well, it's not October here, but usually they change around November or December and then bloom a little bit later. But some of them have flowers too, and maybe a flowering tree that you would have, you know, missed if you had taken it down without knowing what it is. So it's always best to identify them before you take them down. And another great advantage to living in the country like this is at night, you don't have any of the lights from cities blocking out your beautiful, you know, starlit nights, or the moonlit night when you got a nice full moon. And also, it's not uncommon to have wildlife maybe coming through your yard. What that means, you know, of course you got the regular squirrels, raccoons, you know, possums, things like that. But also you get deer coming through, or you could even see a bear once in a while. But don't worry, they're not grizzly bears in Florida. They're the black bears. All right, as you see me here standing in amidst all these old age palmettos, you gotta ask yourself now one question. Do you think that you would rather be here than me with this rural life?